Let's move on, because one of the things I wanted to talk about again, I wanted to go back to the Twitter thing, because I think it's very important in terms of how we view the election. Now, the Twitter, President Obama is the king of tweets. We know that because he's what, and I'm not even on Twitter, so I can't even even tell you from an insider. And I really should be. I don't even understand what Twitter is at some point. But apparently Barack Obama's got like 731 tweets that are reposted. About 690 are retweeted more than 100 times. I'm assuming that's a lot. Herman Cain, let's go back to the Herman Cain issue. He's probably leading the pack of Republicans at 579 tweets. He doesn't have as much money as Romney or Perry, but he is leading the pack, and the tweets really help. Now, one of the things that would concern anybody about tweeting is that you can put information out there quickly, but it doesn't get checked. I mean, Richard, you got to admit that when you don't vet information, it can come back to haunt you.
You're completely right. I think not vetting information can come back to haunt you. I think with President Obama and his tweets, his communications team works very hard to construct the right tweets and the right message. I think what we've seen, I don't think the president's communicated anything that would be incorrect that's coming from the White House. But I mean, I think the most important thing, first of all, Lauren, you need to get on Twitter. And if you get on Twitter, I promise I will be your first follower.
Listen,
I will follow you, Lauren.
I'm on Facebook, but I still don't even understand it. So, okay, so Twitter,
more fun.
And the second thing to understand is that Twitter is how you communicate with the new generation of voters.
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter all the time. My followers, I update them on where to vote, how to vote, what's happening at the polls. And so that's how you communicate with voters instantaneously, and you could do it to the world in matters of seconds in 140 characters. So I think we'll see campaigns do more and more utilization of Twitter and Facebook. I think on the president's side, he's actually brought on a team of folks to create a program called Greater Together, where they're going to use social media to communicate to the younger generation. That's going to be the entire premise of this program, so the president's campaign can reach out to young people and reach out to the millennials that use Twitter to communicate.
You know, and you say something very important, because you're reaching out to young people, but I also just talked to a professor not too long ago who said one of the problems with young people in schools today, in the universities, is that very few of them are learning to think critically, and which means it takes more than tweets to actually gather a subject and raise your arguments. And that's what concerns me, that the presidential elections are based on tweets and if you're a hot debater, and not about if you can do the job, which, we'd want to have someone in the office who can actually do the job. I mean, Richard, go ahead.
Well, I think the most important thing to understand here is that what tweeting allows you to do is allows you to create a more effective argument, because you only have 140 characters to get your point across to the broader audience. So I think it does require some critical thinking to get all those words in there the right way, to say the right thing, and to get it said in 140 characters. I mean, even for me, it causes me to sort of really synthesize what I'm trying to say and get down to the bare root of it, so that my followers can understand what I need to say. And if you are watching out there and you're not following me on Twitter, you should be at Richard A. Fowler. I want to put a plug in there for my Twitter account. And Carrie, you should put one in for yours too.
That's right, at Carrie Pickett, KERYPICKET.
Okay. All right, you've shamed me into getting a Twitter account. All right, thank you very much. Richard Fowler, we got to say goodbye to you, Democratic political strategist in our D.C. bureau. Someday you'll be back in here, Richard, and we can talk again.
Yes, thanks for having me. Happy Halloween, everybody.
You too, yeah.